Welcome back to Week 5, Day 2 of the HCS Pro League fall season. Elamite and T2 once again at the Xfinity desk. We just saw two matches already happen here tonight, including Envious coming off of a pretty convincing win over Luminosity 3-1. And then our next matchup is going to be LOL battling Optic Gaming. Now, there's going to be a lot on the line here, especially for LOL, and it is not out of the question for them actually to pull off a W here.
They can totally take this series. They've done it in scrims before against Optic Gaming. I think they won by one game about 10 days ago in a scrim against these guys, so very familiar with how one another play. Even last night, you were playing with APG, Heinz, and Lethal, so these guys play with one another very often. They're familiar with how each other's strategies play, tendencies, things along that nature, so expecting them to put up a pretty good fight against this Optic Gaming squad.
And then, of course, Optic Gaming, we've got Frosty, Royal 2, Snakebite, and Lethal. We've talked about it before. Lethal missing that memo. Got to wear a hat, man.
Yeah, needs to wear a hat, but either way, they were looking pretty solid yesterday, especially after the first week after that Esports Arena tournament last week, and a little bit slow out of the gates, but seemed to getting back into their full form. And again, I think that LOL, they're going to put up a better fight than they put up yesterday against Luminosity. Obviously, it was a 3-0, very underwhelming performance in the first match yesterday. They know what's at stake here. They can right all of their wrongs from their series against Luminosity because of the fact that Luminosity just dropped that previous series to Envy. So if they can win this one and Luminosity loses today, that gets them right back in the possible playoff race.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the series layout that we're going to be seeing these two teams match up on. Wow, starting us off a lot of rigs here. The Rig Strongholds followed up by the Rig Slayer. So overall, kind of a good selection here to kick things off for LOL. We know that they found success, and in summer season, I think was the only game type they actually defeated Optic Gaming on, was going to be the Rig Strongholds there. We will have a Truth CTF for game number 3, one that we've seen APG and Heinz both excel on, going back and having that experience from the midship days and whatever it was called in Halo Reach, Zealot similarities, just knowing the different lines of sights, angles, and routes that you can take on a map. Empire Strongholds and Regret Slayer, games 4 and 5. Regret Slayer, although I'd say the benefit of that goes over to Optic Gaming in a game number 5, but Regret's one of those maps where just overshield and power Plasma Caster weapon control can absolutely determine who comes out ahead there.
Definitely, I like this for LOL. I think they did a pretty good job. CTF Truth, they're solid at it. Empire Strongholds, I feel like they stand a chance as well. So we'll see. They have an opportunity to possibly win this series 3-1 if they're playing out of their minds. Maybe even 3-0. You never know. But we all know that you can't count Optic Gaming out. Even if you do win the first game or you go up 2-0, you have to close these guys out. It's going to get more and more difficult as the games progress. So that's why I don't think if this does go to a game 5 that LOL would win. I think if they were to win the series, it'd probably be 3-1, Kyle.
All right, now we are getting the players here set up in the games. Like we said there, it is going to be Strongholds on the Rig. I'm going to put a lot of pressure here onto Ace, as I know Ace, being one of the original members of that LOL squad, also had a phenomenal game here on this specific map and game type to defeat Optic the first time that they matched up on this. So looking for Ace to do big things. We'll kick things off with him, as they are going to be red base here on Strongholds Rig, 100 points to win. We've talked about and already seen this played several times here today. Shotgun can be extremely powerful on this game type, and of course having that red base spawn is going to be the railgun here to start for Ace.
Yeah, so Ace electing to look mid-bridge, not flying over towards the basement to contest the basement, probably a little bit scared of the shotgun, but really excited for this match. Hashtag HCS, and I'm not sure if we're keeping Swaggy_5xC's identity a secret or if that's actually his Twitter, but either way, thanks for the tweet, man. Keep those tweets rolling in. And a couple slays going on over to LOL, so Ace is going to rotate with this railgun and possibly look to capture the basement. Has one teammate with him, but that's not going to be enough because now it's a 3-on-2 situation over here. Now a 2-on-2. That's going to be actually APG with the camo. So now he's going to have camo shotgun probably, or possibly camo railgun. So now Heinz in a 2-on-2 again with APG. Looks like Lethal over there in that open field area. Does get a trade onto Heinz. Now APG getting slays and things like that, but they need to get into this basement and start capturing points. So they're going to trade BR for the basement. They're also going for the nest at the same time. It's going to be a barrels push for the side of Optic Gaming, but you still have APG staying alive with this camo railgun. He does it. There it is. Nice job by APG, still staying alive over here. Now Ace picks up 2 kills, and everyone on Optic Gaming dropping. They're going to be stuck over in bunker.
Yeah, this is a great opening strategy here for Optic Gaming. They're able to lock down power weapons and control, but just like that, you have Eco and Ace both dying here. This is going to put a lot of responsibility on APG's shoulders to keep control of this map, as you do see 2 players pushing over here from barrels and 1 in Snipe Hall. So he is getting collapsed on and not able to get the shot off, as Royal 2 has perfect BR shots and a 4.
If Royal 2 doesn't hit the perfect shots onto APG most likely able to get a trade there. And he would have dropped eventually, but still just amazing job over there by Royal 2 to do so. And nice trade over there by both players, Frosty and Hines. Now Camo coming up here shortly, virtually tied game over here. But you do have LOL continuing to rack up points with Nest and BR. So a little bit of a weird situation for Optic Gaming because they want to get this camo, but they have to stop the bleeding at the same time. So there it goes. One player going to be capturing BR base. Ace grabbing this railgun now. Hits it. Also has shotgun in his back pocket too. So dropping that railgun and his teammates grabbing basement. It's a really good sign for these guys. Now I want to see what happened with the camo. So I'm going to scroll through and find out if anyone was able to grab that one. And I don't think so quite yet. So it looks like Eco was able to sneak away with that one, but he burns it. So.
All right, now that's going to be control, however, still over in the favor of LOL, as they are doubling the score now of Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming is getting in really good map position to contest this hill. The first thing you want to do is control that carbine. Hines in a 1v1. They're not going to be able to secure that kill. Actually, more like a 2v1. 2 members of Optic Gaming now securing this basement hill is going to quickly go over in their favor. Now you have APG trying to contest his BR base, but Royal 2 starting to push back. Now, will he jump out immediately? He will not. So Richie Hines runs right into the tower, does not see him, will end up getting back smacked. So that's going to allow Snakebite. They are pushing to capture this BR base. We may be looking at control going back over in favor of Optic Gaming. However, the spawns are now favoring LOL as they have that carbine location. Nest is being contested. Eventually goes over to Optic Gaming as well, as now they're sitting on a triple cap.
Yeah, it's decent spawns for LOL, but I think that they're on top of it for Optic Gaming. That's going to be a big double kill for Eco. Should open up the map for them a little bit. Nice contention over there coming in from Snakebite. Stops that and gets the reset. Now I'm getting some tweets saying contention's not a word, but we're adding it to the dictionary as of now, guys.
Yeah, it might not be a Webster's dictionary word, but we're making it an esports word, and now it's official.
Yeah, I mean, stupid noob's not necessarily a full word, but we make it work.
All right, now Frosty just drops or picks up that assault rifle. He's got a shotgun in his back pocket, but I'm not sure how much ammo he's going to have left in this weapon. Now the score is still extremely close. You have the rest of LOL pushing over here to try to contest over by barrels. Splinter nade, Frosty trying to do what he can, as there is 3 members from Optic Gaming over here contesting. Oh. Shotgun is in his hands, but that's a great frag nade. Will pick up a kill on Ace with that one.
Yeah, and this is what Optic Gaming does so well. With camo coming up here soon, there's no reason that they couldn't continue to have this triple cap continue on. But it looks like LOL does get the basement over there, so they're going to have to hold this setup of BR and Nest while trying to get this camo over here. But I would say that it's not that bad of a scenario now for the LOL team. Oh, Snakebite somehow clambers on there, maybe using his fingernails or something like that.
That was a pretty close one. That would have been quite a blessing for LOL if he did fall off the map with that railgun camo, as I'm anticipating big things to come out of him now. Now Control's going to go back over to LOL, which is great sign for them. But when you've got a railgun and camo player pushing over into your base, you're sitting in basement, Ace is going to be taken out first immediately. You do have BR base starting to be captured by LOL, but basement is quickly going over to Optic. And just like that, Eco being able to actually secure that cap, so it's a great job by them. Nobody from Optic securing Nest here yet.
Nice rotate by Eco.
But shotgun and rail here. This is a scary moment. They really, and they get some frag nade hits. They need to pick up this kill. They cannot let Snakebite escape. They're trying to do what they can here, but the Nest hill is going back over to Optic. They're not able to find him fast enough.
Yeah, either way, that was a nice shot by Eco going over there and rotating over towards the BR, so Optic wasn't able to score points and eventually taking down Snakebite as his camo did wear out. So good job by both players and both teams so far. But either way, this isn't the worst position in the world for LOL to be in. I think that they still have an opportunity to come back in this one. They have to make their push shortly, though. It's going to be about 3 or 4 pushes before this game's all but over, and they have to make sure they're going towards the right way. Right now they're a little bit split up, and Ace over there with that shotgun does get Spartan charged eventually by Lethal, so they have to make sure wherever they're going together, and it looks like with Railgun coming up, they should just be going barrel side.
Yeah, it looks like that railgun is going to go over in the hands of LOL. You got Royal 2 just sitting here, crouching, trying to contest a basement to the best visibility. Looks like nobody is pushing over towards Nest, so they are going to elect to push and try to go for basement hill first. They need to make a play here as they can't afford any mistakes, as Frosty's sitting there with a shotgun, going to grab 1 kill. He's also got a railgun, only 1 shot left. Eco does have the railgun tower too, but Royal 2 is pushing to collapse on him now. Eco does grab that kill, but Frosty answers right back and takes him out. That's going to put a railgun down top center. Shotgun still got ammo, grabs a quick, easy double kill. Nobody from LOL is going to be in a good position to start jumping in one of these hills. They may have time to capture one of them, but they cannot make any further mistakes at that point, as it is just too close to the end of this one.
Yeah, APG doing whatever he can to push over there, but look at that. Just Frosty with the shotgun, way too much. That should be game for these guys. There it is. They're going to capture 2 strongholds, looking to possibly capture the 3rd one there. And it's all but over there for LOL. Game number 1 going over to Optic Gaming, and good fight by, good fight by LOL, because they were in that game for a majority of it, but once you gave that camo railgun over to Snakebite, that's when things really started to turn.
Yeah, even when Snakebite had that camo, really did a great job of locking down and keeping LOL on their back feet, but then after that, that railgun and shotgun went over to the hands of Frosty, and he picked up at least 6 or 7 kills with it, so it's just a great overall performance by Optic, proving how each one of these players, no matter what weapons they have in their hands, can absolutely shut down an entire team.
Yeah, so now we're moving into Slayer on the rig. Plays completely differently than Strongholds, but based on the way LOL played that one, I think that they have what it takes. They seem to know what they're doing. It's just a matter of keeping the weapons out of these guys' hands. A lot easier said than done, because you can see what happens when they get the weapons. Just amazing thrust, no shields, predicting exactly where Ace was going to be using his radar. So fantastic play by these guys. And again, it's just about taking one of these first 2 games, I think, that if you're LOL, because CTF Truth, we know, we've even seen them win that against Optic Gaming in the past. So if they drop this one, it may be virtually over from there. So a lot coming down to this Rig Slayer.
Yeah, and we're getting the players set up here in Rig Slayer right now. Of course, this one's going to play a little bit differently. We've got a Plasma Caster on the map. Still got, or you've also got a sniper here on the map. Camo is going to be the same both ways. Now, we started the last game off with Ace, I believe, so we'll kick things off with someone here from Optic Gaming, as they've been on a tear. Frosty was doing a lot of work, so we'll see if he's going to be able to start this game off as strong as he was previously. Keep in mind, during that summer season, that this kid is the one that had a Killtacular on this map. That was a great play, and it was against this LOL squad.
Here we have Frosty making his way over towards the Nest Bridge, but look at the aggression coming out for LOL, getting a quick little 2-kill lead here, so fantastic job by them, and they just have to lock this down. There's no reason for them to necessarily charge over there. Eco grabs that camo. Is he going to be able to stay alive? No grenades come in, grabs that storm rifle, so now he's a big player on this map, and let's see what happens.
There you go, and Tom and Kyle, always enjoy your commentary each week. Keep up the good work, guys, coming from Josh. And I don't know his last name. Tilly?
You were doing a good job until you butchered his last name.
Yeah, I think I might have butchered his last name.
You did a pretty good job. But
appreciate the love, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Keep them rolling in. Use that hashtag HCS. But what looked like a fantastic start right now for this squad of LOL is now a tied game here for Optic Gaming, and they do have positional advantage. So Eco not able to utilize the camo as much as he would have liked, and now just trying to lock down this white hole by himself, though, so he's going to need a little bit more support, especially since there's, you can see your player outlines, 2 people on the SMG side and the engine side, and then 2 people over towards the top tower. So here it is, Ace coming in to work with his buddy over here, Eco doing a little buddy system, bait and switch. Now, Lethal does have the shotgun over towards bottom tower, so that's a red flag to avoid that side of the map. So even more people for the LOL team should be coming over towards this Nest Bridge, and as that's happening, here comes a push for Optic Gaming as they love to charge the barrel side.
Now Frosty's jumping up here towards Engine 2. Nobody was able to spot him, though. No frag nades were picking up any kind of hit markers, so not sure if they know that player is there. Lethal is over in basement, grabs 1 kill on APG, and amazing shots on Eco actually secures that capture. And we were all tied up at 5-5 just a moment ago, but Optic Gaming answers back, and now we have a 5-kill lead.
just small things like not being able to utilize the camo fully, having bunker but not being able to utilize it as much as you wanted to. So when things are given to you, or when you take things from Optic Gaming, you have to continue to build on that. And that's something that LOL didn't do very well in their series yesterday, where they, had flag captures and then they were going in, and next thing you know, Luminosity comes in, stops that, and then the momentum completely shifts. And then you have moments where you have complete setup in your LOL, but yeah, it gets broken somehow because you're the first player to die on the team. So just minor mistakes like that are gonna get punished so much more. And look at that, 7-0 right now for Lethal.
APG Ace still yet to grab a kill here this game. Eco sitting at 5 kills here for this squad. 18-6 the score, 19 to make that 19-6. Shotgun still over in the favor of Optic Gaming. Now Kevin or Eco is going to secure yet another kill here right there. Now several members of Optic Gaming top of the base. Snakebite's going to be able to grab yet another kill. Eco grabs another kill. He is literally have 7 kills of this squad's team right now. APG is still yet to pick up one.
Yeah, APG, decent amount of assists for a squad, but still not able to find a kill. And it's getting a little out of hand here right now. Not quite over yet, but we saw Optic Gaming do this yesterday against E6, where they blundered a lead because they slowed it down a little bit. And I'm wondering if they've learned from their mistakes, and once they get a lead, they just need to continue to either trade kills and play aggressive, or just play the way that they were playing that gave them the lead originally. So we'll find out what happens now, Kyle, because yesterday that was very uncharacteristic from Optic Gaming.
Now we've got 1 shot left here in this plasma caster. It looks like Ego's going to go for a charged up shot. Nobody over there on that carbine spot exactly, so he's not going to get any damage done. Now he's getting some callouts. There's a player over here by that SMG as Heinz picks up a kill there. That's 2 kills now. Back down to a 10-kill game as as LOL is starting to make a good push here, trying to make this respectable.
Definitely, but they can't afford to trade kills. They're going to have to go on a little bit of a spree here. So camo coming up. You have that plasma caster that just dropped. Let's see if Eco can continue to build on this awesome game that he's had working with Heinz over there. Heinz dropped Snakebite, which means that the plasma caster was dropped as well. The question is did Snakebite throw it off the map? I think that he did. So nice job by Snakebite getting that weapon out of the hands of LOL and Eco.
Yeah, that was a really good job by him. Now, Royal 2 did just show up on Eco's screen. He's going to get some callouts on that player. The camo is just taken by Snakebite. He's going to be finished off. Killing speed from Eco. Eco really having a fantastic game here. Down to a 7-kill game as LOL's showing a whole lot of life here now. And some of that, like you said, Tom, is coming off of Optic Gaming slowing down this game. And really, majority of their kills, the majority of this lead is all coming from the shotgun on this map with the amount of kills Royal 2 and Lethal have used to get with this weapon.
Definitely so powerful, and just continuing to put it on spawn and having the time. And I don't know, maybe the timer for the shotgun could be a little bit longer, I guess, to make it a little bit less dominating. But the thing is that it's on the other side of the map than the snipe, so it's a utility to try to get back into the game and try to retake the bunker side of the map. But if you're able to escape with it and lock it down with the sniper in your hands, it makes it so difficult to retake setups. So I don't know. I was a big fan of having the scatter shot there, but either way, shotgun scatter shot doesn't work out.
Royal 2 does hit a body shot there with that sniper rifle. Only 1 shot left here in the weapon. Only 7-kill game, so LOL is still doing a really good job trying to close this one off a little bit. The new plasma caster and sniper rifles coming up soon. LOL needs to make sure no one dies here in this situation. Right now, Optic does not have any real power weapons to set up and try to use here until this new plasma caster and shotgun spawn.
Weird to see this one slow down, because remember, Kyle, we were talking about it yesterday against E6. This is how they allowed them to get back into the game. So slowly being picked apart and their lead deteriorating with this camo coming up, and Ace having snipe in a really prime position with plenty of ammo.
Oh, what a great headshot. Frosty trying to get tricky with the angles, throwing some splinter nades into Tower 2, and Ace makes him pay for it.
Definitely, and now Ace is going to have to rotate, though, because once you snipe a player on a top team, like Optic Gaming or NB or anyone really in this pro league, especially the top tier teams, though, you have to make sure that you've now, you've given up your position. So they're not going to poke out in the same spot twice. And as you see, he actually misses a player that ran towards the camo with his Frosty, and Frosty picked that one up. A nice job by Eco, laying a grenade, and Royal 2's going to trade. Oh, nasty headshot coming in from Ace. Can he survive, though, is the question, because you do have Lethal that is charging over towards bunker. And as long as T-Squared has the tips that he can be fragging like a pro, he can use all the fake words he wants. Thanks, man.
He can use all the fake words he wants, is that what it says? Oh, that's funny. Swamp Monster. All right, lots of action going on. Down to a 4-kill game now. Snakebite picking up a few extra kills, trying to build his lead back up a little bit. Ace was taken out, so it looks like he went ahead and lost that sniper rifle. So map control has flipped over here back in favor of Optic Gaming as far as bunker side of the map goes. Ace doing what he can to try to stay alive. He needs to escape, and he does in fact get away.
He does, but needs to get his shields back. Okay, there his shields come in and slowing down a little bit more than we were anticipating here, and this may not go to 50 kills, Kyle, because these guys are camping it out big time. Seems like everyone's just waiting for this camo to come up and also working around the weapons, as you should in a certain Slayer game, because there's a lot on the line here. This isn't a scrim, this isn't an arena game, this is the Pro League, and there's, you know, position up for line, there's money up for grabs, and there's a lot of bragging rights.
Yeah, not only that, but you gotta keep in mind that it looks like the shotgun is over in the hands of Optic Gaming, so you gotta be so careful. The whole reason that Optic has this lead and had that giant lead that we saw was because Lethal was 7-0 crouching with the shotgun bottom tower. So you can just see how impactful that weapon can be, and LOL really needs to respect what they're able to do here and what kind of angles they can push in at with that shotgun being a risk on the map.
Weird challenge from Ace. Felt like he could have possibly backed off, but APG does get the trade there, so not the worst case scenario. And ooh, Frosty, that's a big no-scope. If that player was able to get the kill and secure the sniper rifle, they would have been in a really powerful position to try to get multi-kills on the teammates and then put them on spawn and charge into the bunker. So just that small little play and hit from Frosty really changes the outcome of this game, especially with 3 minutes left. So I thought that that was a fantastic push by whoever that was, but fantastic reflexes from Frosty as well.
Yeah, and we've got that camo over in the hands of Snakebite. Royal 2 now grabs a kill on APG. Hines is about to get put into a 2v1 situation, maybe even worse. As they grab that kill, Snakebite has that shotgun, takes a little bit of damage, just backs up. Frosty now picking up a kill with the sniper, and that's what happens when you lose control of the power weapons. Just how powerful or how good Optic Gaming is with them and punishing you. LOL did a fantastic job of starting to cut down this lead, but once that weapon switches hands, you can just see what Optic can do with it.
Once Frosty hit that no-scope, things just changed completely. That was such a game-changing play. I mean, what was it, 4 or 5 kill difference now? It's looking like a 14 kill difference, all because of that little no-scope and backing that player off. So Royal 2 going off with weapons. You have a shotgun, I believe, in their back pocket as well. So it's just, that's what happens once they get the weapons in their hand. These guys from Optic Gaming, they pick up kills and they do it in a very fast manner.
Oh, and there we got a 1v1 going on. Eco not being able to grab that melee. Spartan charge being a very powerful weapon to use. We even saw Ace dying with a shotgun when Lethal got that Spartan charge trade on him, essentially. Frosty with another sniper, going to take out APG, who had one himself. Only 1 shot left, but 49 kills already with a great fragnade on Ace. That's going to seal the deal here for game number 2. 50-35 victory for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, rough game there for APG. Tons of assists, as many assists as his entire team combined, but 15 deaths a little too high up there, and you see Royal 2 and Lethal with a fantastic performance, but they were in the game the entire time. LOL had that one. It was just a 4 or 5 kill game as someone charged over there and tried to get Frosty, but Frosty hits him with the no-scope, and that was a big turning point too. Eco sitting at the bottom just a little bit too long with that camo. Probably should have got up top and started to build on the fact that they were over on the bunker side of the map for LOL. So small little executional errors like that are the reason why Optic Gaming punishes you and just starts to go on that spree towards the end and make it virtually impossible.
Oh, and that was a crispy headshot. Oh, Ace had a couple that game. I forgot about that no-scope there. A little bit over-aggressive in that charge with the battle rifle. He might have been trying to clamber onto the ledge there and not drop all the way down, but he did end up almost suiciding there onto Lethal.
So now we move into CTF Truth, which I wouldn't be surprised to see LOL take this one. We've seen this numerous times against Optic Gaming, where Game 3 has been CTF Truth and they've been down 2-1 They win this next one, and then next thing you know, they get 3-1 in the series. This one isn't over quite yet. If they can win this one like I think that they will, and then continue to build on that momentum, we'll see. Just that it's Regret Slayer in game number 5, so I'm a little bit worried for these guys, especially when we saw how amazing they played Strongholds Rig on the side of Optic Gaming. The rotations were there, the communication was there, so it's going to be very difficult now for LOL. They need this series. It's not a must-win for them quite yet, but next week are going to be their must-win series. This is just an opportunity for them to win and go up in the standings, since we just saw Luminosity lose, and we know yesterday how big their loss to Luminosity was.
Right, I have no idea how the rest of the season is going to play out as far as their standings go, but the top 4 teams are, in fact, pulling away. That means every time one of those top 4 teams wins, you got to be worried if you're outside of that location, essentially. So this is against Optic Gaming, arguably the best team in the entire world, so not necessarily a must-win here yet. You can't always expect to come out and just beat the best team. But after this week, after today's games, that is when there is literally no more room for mistake, and you have to hope to get even lucky with some of how the other series will play out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So now we're moving into CTF Truth on board with Lethal, making his way up towards P2. Going to throw a couple grenades off the street. Gets hit with one, but does put some damage down as well. But that's 2 kills going on over to LOL, and they know exactly where Lethal is. Taking a player down to no shields, that rotates over towards P3. That's going to be his 2nd assist of the game. Going in there with the bait and switch with Snakebite, getting a kill onto Ace as well. And you can't let that happen. You know that you have the numbers if you're LOL, but yet you let Lethal stay alive into P2. Just unacceptable.
Yeah, and it looks like just a second ago, all 4 members, already 5 kills here for Optic Gaming, while only 2 kills here from LOL to answer back. Ace is going to get taken out. 3 members of Optic in the red base. Now, great job by Eco picking up a kill there on Snakebite. He's going to get into another fight. Lethal dropping down below the base. We'll go ahead and secure that kill. Ace is coming off spawn over here on pink side, and Lethal with perfect shots takes out Ace and keeps that flag here alive below the base, but they haven't had a chance to really run this flag yet, and now with Lethal having fuel rod down here, LOL really needs to be careful. The flag has not been moved out yet. They need to make sure no one is dying. 2 kills coming out here for LOL, and now they're pushing below the base. They will go ahead and take him out.
Surprised to see Lethal pre-fire down towards the toilet area and give up his position underneath the base. You'd have to assume that not only did it appear on the radar, but LOL had to have heard that fuel rod shot. I mean, you just heard it on Royal 2 screen, and he's all the way across the map. So small misplay from Lethal, but either way, you have a little bit of room for error when you're up 2-0 in the series.
All right, now Royal 2's got that pink tower here on lockdown. He's got a battle rifle working with Frosty, who's pushing in below the base, trying to contest Ace. Now there's several members of LOL. Ace actually picks up 1 kill. Everyone else is kind of weak, so they need to wait for their shields to recharge. Richie's putting some shots down, is going to force Royal 2 to back off quite just a little bit here. Looking at about 20 seconds before we see this next camo spawn. Carbine control now in favor of Optic Gaming, as they've got 2 members pushing, collapsing bubble side of the map. Ace is taking weak here, pink 2. Royal 2 is looking for a challenge. Will go ahead and push in, and then picks up another kill here on Ace, as that camo is getting ready to pop. Richie's going to need, or Heinz is going to need more help if he's going to contest this. Eco pops out, trying to throw some nades. That camo is, in fact, up, and he wins the challenge. Big double kill here for Eco.
You know what helps is when you have a player from the enemy team nade one of his teammates. That always is a pretty big play. So that's unfortunate for Snakebite that he was trying to help out. And then Optic Gaming now forfeiting the map positioning, and Ace trying to take advantage of that over here. You can see your player outlines. 3 players for Optic Gaming trapped inside of their own base over there at blue, and doing whatever they can to rotate out towards pink 2. So Ace realizes no one's coming out towards top car. Looks like they've all rotated into P2 based on the information that Heinz is giving them. So here comes the rotation over towards the car side for Optic Gaming, and it's a 2-man push. Last guy alive is top car. Ace needs to stay alive here.
And that was a great job by Ace, but PJ pushes through car side. Wasn't expecting him to go all the way through. Ace even escapes below the base. Nobody able to finish off or react to those call-outs from Snakebite here. Now it's P-Tower in control of LOL. The biggest surprising thing I've seen is the fact that Optic wasn't able to secure a flag cap off the start of the game here.
Not at all, and it's because these guys play Truth so well on LOL's squad, and they're starting to, once they've, made the acquisition of Eco, and even when they had Renegade on the squad, eventually starting to show what they're made of in other game types. But it's never been a question if they were, a solid Truth team or not. They're amazing at Truth, if not one of the better Truth teams.
Oh my God, what is happening right here?
I don't know, but if Ace gets up any more kills, I'm gonna freak out. Here's over here working against Snakebite, and Snakebite's doing the same thing that's going on. I don't know if they're having a contestation, or not a contest. They're having a contest to see who can do the most ground pounds over there towards top car side, but I think Ace won that one.
Dude, that was actually pretty insane what he was just able to do. I would put MVP of that flag capture in Ace, who killed 2, maybe 3 different people and stayed alive, no shields for like a good 25 seconds. That was amazing map movement on Carbine side.
Sure was. So now we're having APG over here on that Carbine side with the battle rifle. Now it's a 2-on-3 situation, and APG just needs to lock this down and then wait for another player to push in from that pink side, and then they'll be good to go. So there goes the player Richie trying to make his way into the base, but Richie actually elects to go towards P1 because of the fact that Camo was coming up. So I'm not sure if that was the right player, if they should have been possibly focused on the flag. But now APG's left in kind of no man's land over here with the sword.
Oh, and lethal. I thought APG was going to be able to grab that one. Might have even been a bolt shoot. You have the Camo player and Snakebite pushing top center. He's going to get taken out by Heinz. Great map movement, able to stabilize in air, avoid some of those fuel rod shots and damage. Lethal jumping around bottom center is going to get dropped by APG. Taking a look at Snakebite's point of view now here as he spawns, runs right back to his base, trying to get some angles, spot some of these LOL players. He's getting some callouts that they are over here at pink side, grab some hit markers of this player in car 1, and will immediately push out of the base to finish that off.
Snakebite doing a nice job staying alive bottom center somehow, picking up 2 kills. Let's see if that's going to be enough for Optic Gaming to get anything done. Ace over there trying to get a flagpole of his own. Gets it out decently far towards that pink side. Need to get a touch over there if you're APG. Not able to do so because you have 2 players from Optic Gaming, but at least that's buying enough time. Ace's original play and also APG staying alive under the base is allowing Heinz and Eco to get pink control, and Heinz grabbing this fuel rod too. So that's 2 dead now. Up to Heinz to try to get into the base here. However, Royal 2 underneath trying to stop that push. So we'd like to see Heinz have more help here. He needs to have someone come in behind him because, again, he had to get inside the base or just hold P2, but you can't do it by yourself. So small misplay coming in for LOL, and that's not Heinz's fault. He needs someone else to be working with him there, or just needs to play a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay, both by LOL not protecting, but a great plays by Optic Gaming in order to put 2 people in contention, as Tom would say there, into that one.
And Royal 2 with the fuel rod putting in some work over here, but not able to get out of his base as much as he would like to. So much pressure coming in from LOL. Look at that. APG sacrificing his life to try to get the fuel rod out of his hands, and that's what you want to see for this LOL team. Not sending 1 people, but sending 2. And look at Eco, nice shots, getting the perfect. Burns the camo at 530, so that next camo will be up at the 330 mark, and that's something that Team Optic's going to need to get back into this one because, yeah, they're up 2-0 in the series, but they haven't been able to find much success running the flag.
All right, now P-Tower control as that member from Optic dies. P3 is going to go over back to LOL. You see 2 players Carbine side. Snakebite was, in fact, 1 shot. Heinz not able to finish off that kill. Is going to need some help. All 4 members of Optic pushing back to their base from Carbine side. Needs to be careful for some of these frag nades. Gets a lot of splinter hit markers. Royal 2 dropped below the base. Good play by him. Will finish off that kill.
Nice melee by Heinz. Let's see if that gets the kill onto Royal 2 for one of his teammates. That's not going to be it. It's lethal that drops. So this is a scary situation because finally Optic Gaming infiltrating the base for LOL. Still haven't gotten the flagpole quite yet though. This is them. They like to slow play it. Once they get the slays, they immediately get this one in there. So there it is. There's 2 players trapped over towards that Carbine side. 2 more players on spawn that will be trapped over there as well. Should be a fairly easy cap. You have another player that's in the window for Optic Gaming. As you can see, APG Bradley in his service stack trying to get over there and get the touch, but that's not going to happen. And what you got to worry about for LOL is you just desperated really hard to try to get that return. Now, what happens? Are they going to get a counter cap? Because you have Ace running a flag P2, but there's also Frosty in the base, which hasn't been spotted yet.
Ooh, Lethal's putting some good damage down here from P side. We'll finish off that kill on APG, who actually also had the sword. They're going to be able to get that return, and that is 1-1 here now. Flag is still out. They're working on trying to get that return. Looks like they will, in fact, put 2 members on it and grab it. That's 3 people here for Optic Gaming in red base, or LOL's base pink side of it. Royal 2 doing an amazing job staying alive. LOL really needs to clean up these kills if they're going to be able to do anything. Frosty grabs yet another kill here. and we'll see if they're going to be able to put in this next flag capture. It really looks like they're going to be able to, and there they go, securing
It's
that.
exactly what I was talking about, where Frosty was still in the base with the fuel rod, I believe, too, just crouching on top of the Eli, and nobody had an idea for LOL, so APG thought he had to be the guy to run back and secure that flag capture, but as he did that, he exposed his back towards all the players that were in Carbine side, and then Frosty just slow played it, got the kills that he needed, and then eventually gets the return and the counter cap. So what could be a 2-1 lead right now for LOL is a 2-1 lead for Optic Gaming, and all the momentum in the world since they're up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, and Heinz pushing in the base, trying to get some damage down on those players' Carbine, but the rest of Optic Gaming had already pushed out the top center and was working on a great flank. They're just not scared to get control of the entire map, while the rest of LOL really is focusing on one side and avoiding more of that top middle locations here. Frosty once again finding himself a fuel rod, playing some defense in the base. Map control still over to LOL as they've got Pink Tower and Carbine side. But right now, Frosty pushing over here towards Pink. Looks like 3 members of Optic looking to push over here and try and contest this P2 tower as you've got Eco up there.
Yeah, they need to be laying more cover fire for Eco because he's just over there in no man's land by himself towards P2. So you need to get someone in your own window or maybe top center that lays down fire on the players that are running up the street and going P1. But either way, Frosty pulling this flag and they're getting slays at the same time. Someone's going to have to get the flag kill. The player behind him doesn't get the kill. It was probably Eco. Royal 2 laying down the cover fire, and I think this one should be ground pounded in. You can see Ace trying to make his way for the pull, but it's just not going to be enough. 3-1 in this game, 3-0 overall for the series, and that's 2 3-0s for LOL this week, and that's not how they wanted to have this week going. They were really trying to beat Luminosity and then try to maybe steal this series against Optic Gaming since they saw Luminosity drop to Envy, but Optic Gaming just too strong.
Yeah, I mean, and take a look at some of the stats there. Pretty even slays across the board, honestly. It was just clutch plays coming out from Optic to actually secure that, especially Frosty. The fuel rod, in my opinion, was absolutely the determining factors. How many times they stayed alive. Optic Gaming, I mean, just watching this match highlight reel, it's nothing but fuel rods. How many times they were able to stay alive, no shields, picking up 1 or 2 kills, completely changes the outcome of a flag cap.
Sure does. Didn't even get a chance to see Empire Strongholds or Slayer on Regret, so it's just an unfortunate week for LOL. And then Optic Gaming, they're starting to look like the Optic Gaming that we know online. We know what they can perform on land. We saw at the Orange County event, so now it seems like they're finally starting to settle back in, getting used to the little bit of ping or delay that you may have online compared to LAN as well. So LOL is going to have to go to the drawing board, over the weekend and next week and start to get focused on their next matches. I'm not sure who that is going to be against, but it was a very tough draw today. Yeah, it's Optic Gaming, but that's just the way it is. They're going to have to be beating some of these teams that are ahead of them, whether that's Luminosity especially, which they're not going to have a chance to face off against, but they're going to have to beat the likes of Liquid, beat the likes of Envy if they want to try to move up in these standings.
Yeah, I mean, this is some big, scary teams to have to overcome here. Kind of starting to remind me a little bit of last season when Evil Geniuses literally had their finals life on the line in their final matchup, final week, final day, final match going up against Optic last season. Now, that was the good news for LOL is even though it was a 3-0, Optic Gaming was playing really well, and those games were, for the most part, really close.
Yeah, it was. I think that I wasn't expecting a 3-0, and I think that, Luminosity, the way that they played yesterday, showed a little bit of weaknesses in LOL. So LOL is going to have to take this week and not think of it as a complete disaster. Just look at it as a learning experience and just address the concerns that they have. I think that a lot of it comes down to once they have the setup, holding that setup, and then just securing their captures. So when I look at those small things, really all it comes down to is communication and small talk in urgent parts of the game.
All right, now we are being joined by Snakebite for a winner view here after an impressive performance and 3-0 victory over LOL. Now, Snakebite, first of all, congratulations on the win. Now, was this kind of what you were expecting to come out and do here today, especially with how improved LOL is? Do you think it's more, this 3-0 victory, more credit to what you guys are able to do and how much you've improved, or is this LOL that's kind of dropping the ball here in this week number 5?
I definitely think it's just more of us stepping up and, playing really well and getting the 3-0. We honestly played those games pretty much perfect from our perspective. Rig Strongholds really holding down the 2-cap. Slayer, the second we got the weapons, we just started dominating and really turning the game for us. LOL, regardless of their record or anything that happened this week. They're absolutely, in my opinion, the most improved squad right now. And obviously, they had an unfortunate week, but last week took Envy to Game 5. Definitely really excited to see what they do in the future.
So we were pointing out a couple of the small mistakes that LOL was making, not necessarily in the series against you guys, but yesterday against Luminosity, which seems to be kind of their Achilles heel, is actually controlling and holding setups. And that's one of the things that you guys talked about doing so well in Strongholds. Now, obviously, it varies from game type to game type, but what is some advice that you could give to players out there watching that are trying to do their best in controlling setups in the games?
It's really just about being comfortable with your teammates and figuring out what you want to do. What works for us might not work for other teams. You got to really break the gameplay down, break the film down, and see what you want to do. Some teams like to push 3 caps. Some teams like to, crouch around and hold the 2 caps. So more for LOL. I think it's just, they're a new team, or at least they teamed before, but it's a new meta now with how the game types and weapon layouts have changed and stuff like that. So it's definitely just about finding what your team is comfortable doing more than just what other teams do.
Now, you guys have some pretty amazing setups when you're controlling those strongholds. Speaking of the rig, which we saw you guys just play out, what is your do you guys have 2 strongholds that you focus on controlling the majority of the time, or do you have setups and it doesn't matter which one you're doing as long as you have 2 strongholds?
Basement and Nest are definitely the 2 favorable ones, but it's definitely just get 2 and hold the 2. Basement's by far the easiest to hold. Nest can be a little bit more difficult. Really, that game type just comes down to not getting railgunned. So that's kind of our motto, especially when we're blue side. Red side definitely has the advantage, getting the railgun at the start of the game. But definitely, the second we get 2, we just look to hold the setup and make sure that they don't just get easy pushes on us.
Gotcha. All right, Snakebite, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. Congratulations on yet another victory, going 2-0 this week. And are you going to UGC this weekend?
No, I will not, but I believe Lethal will be. He'll be going. He'll be representing the team.
Okay, very good. Then I'll see him there. Well, thanks so much, and best of luck next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, you heard it there from Snakebite. It's such a dominant team, really. It's kind of scary just how calm, cool, collected. I know I've said that a bunch of times, that this whole squad is, and they know exactly what the scariest things is. They know exactly what works for them. Other people, they're starting to catch up, figure out the meta. We've seen the meta changing a lot here in this game, but they've already known what have worked for them for months and months and months, and are just continuing to improve.
Yeah, for sure. And it's all situational. That's all Halo comes down to. Every situation is so different. And the reason why they're so strong is because they've been a team for quite a while, and they've worked out all these kinks in all of these different situations and talked throughout all of these things.
Right, exactly. You go back to X Games when they were first a team competing and they ended up losing, getting second place. But even when you watch that series, it really looked like they were the ones beating themselves at that X Games tournament rather than Evil Geniuses actually defeating them. But either way, if you like what you're watching here at home and want to figure out how you can participate in the Pro League and get your chance to battle against all these powerhouse Titan teams, you can always head over to halo.gg to find out all the information about that open circuit. We talked about the finals a couple of different times here today, and that is going to be how you break into the Pro League. Now, that does do it for our match number 3 as Optic Gaming defeats LOL 3-0. We will have our final match of the night coming up here next, Enigma 6 battling Evil Geniuses, so don't go anywhere.